to the Funky Uncles. You better believe it, we're back as always, like we never left. Hey,
Absolutely. Another episode, gentlemen. How y'all doing this afternoon? Right?
doing all right, doing all right. You know, another
Good,
day,
good.
another chance to make a difference.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well,
Tonight on the
man.
show, we have on right now Mr. Robert B. Jordan, not Michael B., Robert B. And you just want to join us tonight and enjoy the conversation. And I believe as time goes on, we're gonna have a few more people join in. So I want everybody, if you really want to enjoy yourself, come on through. Let me see here if I can go ahead and
Yeah, I
put
think
the
we're gonna
link.
we gonna we gonna get a little deep tonight, man. And
Yeah.
I've been having some thoughts about some things, and I want to see what you brothers think. So, looking forward to
Okay.
the tonight's conversation, man.
Okay. That's what's up.
Mhm.
Okay, there we go. 'Cause we weren't on Facebook, but now we on Facebook. I can do the thug thizzle up on here. So while we were on three deep, did you wanna start off with one of the topics that you started off with today?
Um, we can. What was that one topic you brought up? You mentioned to me earlier.
Mental over material.
Yeah, we can start there. Um, I want to
Okay.
know your thoughts on your premise on that, and I can add, to it.
Okay. I see Tez is lined up in here, but for some reason it's not letting me add into the studio. Tez, we see you, but it's saying that dang, it's not allowing me to put him on the studio in the chat.
Hmm.
Okay. Tez, we see you. We just trying to get you in the chat. You might have to slide out and redo the configuration to get back in.
Yeah, if he drop out and come back in, he could, you know.
Yeah. So talk about mental over material. We've um we've seen the progression in our lifetime, and if we paid attention to our parents' lifetime and even listening to our grandparents' lifetime, the the mental and who you are was much stronger, and it stood out. It was more valuable than what you had, because a lot of them, especially if we go back to our grandparents and great grandparents time, they didn't have a lot of materialistic things, but they were valuable people, valuable to the community because of who they were as opposed to what they had.
Hmm.
And we've gotten to a point where socialization skills are minimal. You have families that really don't get along because, once again, socialization skills are minimal. We don't have the glue holding the family together because, if grandma said, "Hey, let that ride," you let it ride. There's
Hmm.
no ifs,
Yeah,
ands, or
yeah,
buts.
right.
We don't have those figures anymore because the person who's in that position, the people are bucking their authority and their position over the family. So now it's more of, okay, what can I do to get this so that people will look at me one way, so that people will respect me one way. But and it goes into the dating scene as well. You have a lot of guys who are saying, well, these women only want me if I'm making a certain amount of money, drive a certain car, or whatever, whatever. Then you have, the women saying that, these guys are. So it's going on every avenue, up and down the street. It's all about it's more about what you have as opposed to who you are. I think
Right,
relationships
right.
in general would be better if we look more towards who a person is as opposed to what they have. Because when they say what you bring to the table, the
Well,
vast
that's the way it
majority of the
used to
time,
be.
right?
That's the way it used to be. Yeah.
The
So
vast majority of the time, if you ask somebody what they bring to the table, they're going to tell you what they did or what they have.
I am the table. That's what I hear. I
Yeah.
am the table, and I want to know what that means. I've never heard nobody expound on it. So yeah, I get what you're saying, brother. I really do. And to add to what you said, and you made some valid points. Yeah, we have gotten away from the community aspect of, you know, the black community. I'm sure we all can remember a time, we were all little and could go to each other's house, but if you act up, you're gonna get your behind cut there and when you get home. So a lot
Right.
has changed in the aspect of community. You can't touch other people's kids now. Uh, some parents act worse than the children act sometimes. So you got to tread that light. But yeah, I agree, man. We've gotten away from, I don't hear about people having family reunions no more, man. You hear about people?
Yeah.
You hear
Yeah.
about
We have one on.
really?
I know on my on the girls' side. We have family
Hmm.
gatherings on my father's
That's
side,
well,
and
that's good, man. That's
yeah,
good.
it's rare.
That's good.
It's
Yeah,
rare.
it is. It's rare, man. So, and just seeing how we have evolved to that, and also technology plays a part, man. You know,
Yeah.
technology plays a huge part. Instead of calling somebody or going to visit them face to face, you can just text them, FaceTime them, saying. But I want to add to, you remember back in the day when we used to go to clubs, man? Like we used to go to
Hmm.
different clubs and parties. That used to be a socialization type of gathering because you met somebody face to face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could kind of send your representative, but eventually, if you talk to that person long enough, they're gonna have to see the real you eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like I would say, yeah, going to the club was like practice. That's where you hone your skills at. And unfortunately, the younger generation don't have that. They don't have where you can hone your skills socially and learn to interact with the opposite sex and, it all be good. So that's what's missing. I mean, the club scene is dead to me. I don't really do it no more. I don't know how, I don't, maybe, I guess some spots like older clubs maybe, but as far as what the young kids do now, they still go to clubs. I don't know. You know,
I
I
do it in
hadn't
a
been out in a while.
celebratory fashion. I can't see
Oh
the
yeah,
clubbing every week or
I
what have you.
I get it, bro. I get it. But
Yeah, but
I'm gonna land my plane right there, man. And yeah, we gotta, if we can somehow get back to it. I don't know the solutions. Well, I do know a solution. However, I don't think the black community is gonna follow that.
well,
So
it's not all about the
you know,
community as a whole when we starting with person to person. You know what I'm saying? We
well,
can't we can't
I
expect to
agree.
affect the whole
I
group.
agree.
We had to person by person, and that's what builds. It's got to snowball.
Yeah,
So,
it has to start. It has to start within,
yeah.
and I think that's the only way. Like individually, we can do it. I mean, start with anyway. You got to start with yourself and go from there. Yeah, I totally agree. And I don't expect everybody to be on board. That'd
Nah.
be naive of me to kind of think that. But I mean, I get it. Collectively, we should, but we're gonna have to do it the individual way because we're in an individualized society now, bro. You know,
Right.
nobody's really, you know, we have, remnants of friends here and there, but it's not in a whole collective way. So, but yeah, man, I'll land my plane right there, bro.
What'd you say, Rob?
Wow, that's just listening to both of you, reminiscing and thinking about, your two younger cousins, my two younger children. Uh, I think one of the things that's like what you're saying about the clubs or some other uh, some other place for young adults to meet,
Hmm.
so it won't be so awkward. I remember
Right.
going. I remember going bowling and with my older brother, there were younger women there and talking to them. But it was like every Saturday we used to go bowling, and it just wasn't about that. I learned how to do math because they didn't have a computer at the time. They had the paper and the pencil, and oh, you got a strike. Oh no, you missed your spare. Oh no, you learn how to subtract and add, divide. So yeah, I mean, they've taken here in New York, they've taken bowling alleys out of communities where communities used to come together. And when I say communities, let's say like I have friends 2 blocks over, some other friends 2 blocks over, and we would say, hey, we're gonna go bowling, and we would meet up. And as we got older, and everybody's working, and we could drive there, but they started taking those meeting places out of the community.
Right.
So like my children, they may or may not have that, but what they have now with the school they go to, I tell you, boy, it's like every weekend, which is great, somebody's having a birthday party in the park, and the children get a chance to socialize.
Right.
And there's different ethnicities that are there. And me as an adult, it's an opportunity for me to network. I mean, it's great, but the overload comes from so many different places, like social media. There's no more face to face, like you're saying.
Right.
They don't know how to act when they meet one another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, they're kind of socially awkward in a way.
Right, yeah. So, like, we decided to keep them off of social media as long as possible. When I say them, I mean like their face. They're too young to have an account, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But there's so many pieces of that pie that make up that pie that the subject is that we are talking about, and it's a great subject to bring up, and it's a great conversation to have, and it should be having this kind of conversation throughout the whole United States.
Right.
So
as Gen X men, what would be how would that look for us as far as getting things back on track? To say not back on track, but going in a different direction as far as the community is concerned. How would that look for Generation X? Like, guys,
you got to meet everybody where they are. It goes back to what we said when we had Lou on the show. When he was talking about approaching the young cats, you have to remember where you were at that point. Because once we reach this age, some of us, it's hard for us to go back and think about where we were at that point when we were young.
We're in a different world.
We
didn't have computers.
Right?
We didn't have technology.
You'd be surprised at how much they'll listen if you meet them where they are, regardless of the computers and all that. Because one thing that the computers and the social media, it doesn't have that human element. Even though it's social media and it's humans, it's a lot of people perpetrating a persona that they really aren't. But the life that you live, so the reality of what you live as opposed to what you see. People, they love to fantasize, but they also understand the reality of what they can touch. So that as long as you make that an option, that's just like a seed being planted. It may not grow right then, but the seeds that were planted in us, they didn't grow immediately. But it's on us to be able to plant those seeds for the next up nieces and nephews. Because if we don't, then how long will it take them to learn these lessons, if at all, if it's not something that's pointed out? And welcome to the stage. We got Cortez. He finally came in. My man Sug Rock jumped on here with the funky Uncle Bucket on. I don't know if y'all caught it.
That's right. I'm in the building.
Okay.
I'm in the building, repping the funky uncles.
There you go.
That's what's up.
My
But yeah,
dude from
man, just to
way back.
chime in right quick, I think one advantage of social media is we get a chance to reach more of the youth, through mediums like this right here, and the chance to reach more is the chance to influence more. We just gotta, just like you say, we gotta meet them where they at, and at the same time, it's all about the delivery. It's all about presenting what we're trying to get across to them in a way that they can relate to it. You know, and that comes with a lot of interaction. You got to put in the time. You got to be out there with them, wherever they at, the football games, the basketball games, or whatever. Get 10 or 12 of them and see where their heads at. You know,
That's
Yeah.
a start. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a start.
yeah. Boots on the ground, man. It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in your everyday life, you never
Yeah.
know. I run across cats if I'm going to the store, I'm quick to say, "What's up, nephew?" You know what I'm saying? If they sitting there and, you know how it is in the South. You strike up a conversation like nothing. So,
Mhm.
you tell them, "Look at here. You don't know me." Well, that's what I do, but you don't know me. But, I'm here for you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Come to the show, bring it up. I'm easy to reach. You have something, because you never know, out of the 30 or 40 that I may run into, there may be one that needed that. So as long as I got that one, and that one can help others. So you gotta keep fishing. You go to that pond and fish and fish and fish. You might get a bunch of minnows, but eventually you're gonna get that bass that you've been looking for. You're gonna eat good. So we can't stop. We can't get frustrated by the numbers not being what we want it to be. And it goes with the mental over the material, because with our mental, we have to realize how strong the material effect is today. So if you can even find a chink in the armor with the mental, and begin that thought process with them, the earlier the better. It may not come on full stream in the beginning. More than likely, it won't.
So D, what age you talking though? What age think you should like start with the youth as far as able to reach them and get this message to them? You know, what
Um,
age you think is appropriate?
well, all ages. Actually, it's just like Cortez said. It's going to depend on the approach. You wouldn't approach a 7-year-old the same way you'd approach a 15-year-old. So if
Well,
you're
I get
versatile
that,
enough,
but
yeah,
in general, what age would you recommend?
I would say start dropping seeds at 6 or 7. Little
Okay.
things, just
Yeah.
little
Hmm.
things. Six
Yeah.
or seven.
The earlier the better, man. And uh, you gotta get them real early. You gotta get them real early, like in.
In the sponge years, the
Yeah,
sponge,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah,
When they
the
soaking
sponge
up,
years,
yes.
when they
yeah.
real curious,
Hmm.
at that age where their brain is still developing. But it's a
Right.
it's a good level of comprehension there. Of course,
Hmm.
we can't approach them on a level that we would be on, but you just have to find that right approach,
I
you
don't
know.
know, though. Them little youngsters know that computer stuff now, man. They
Yeah,
you
they
get
do.
on there,
They do.
dude.
They do.
I'm like, yo, I'd be amazed, and they be 3 and 4 years old, man. I'm like, how do you know how to?
Yep,
I'm here,
Right.
my
they
big
do.
51-year-old rusty ass can barely get past the goddamn home page,
Yeah.
and now this little
Yeah, they
jokers,
do,
man.
man.
They
But there's
smart,
an
boy.
advantage to that, though. There is an
Hmm.
advantage, because what we can say, if you don't believe me, look it up. You understand? And the proof is in them looking it up.
Exactly.
So that way we had to be on point, not to be handing
Hmm.
out false knowledge.
Yeah, we in the age of information, bro.
Right. So when
Yeah,
we
man.
tell them, if
Yeah.
I tell you that Pistol Pete scored 40 points a game in college, 40, 44 points a game in college, I'm not going to tell you he scored 60. If I tell you he scored 60, the first thing going to come to their mind is the negativity. Oh, he just lying about yada yada, instead of appreciating the 40. If we give them it exactly what it is, we're doing what the media, the lamestream media isn't doing. We're giving you the opportunity to take both sides and figure it out for yourself. We're giving you the truth on both sides. You already know one side. We're giving you the other side. And I'm letting you figure it out for yourself as opposed to only giving you one side.
Yeah, just present the information and let them sort it out, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yep.
But hey, since we got some brothers on the panel, I want to get y'all thoughts on some things, man.
Okay.
And I know y'all been seeing it. I've been seeing clips. The Democratic Party is flailing and they trying to stay above water. And not so long ago, Barack Obama brought his ass to some meeting in Pittsburgh to talk to some brothers about not voting for Kamala. Not only him, D.L. Hughley, Ricky Smiley, Pastor Jamal Bryant, and a bunch of other brothers finger wagging at black men in the community for not voting for Kamala and supporting Kamala. What's your brother's thoughts on that, man? I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. How do y'all feel about that? I don't usually use the word feel, but here to get the point across, I'm gonna say, how do y'all feel about that? Because I don't like it, man. I hate that shit. Barack Obama can kiss my ass. All them boys can kiss my ass, man. Because they out there twerking for a damn woman that don't give a damn about them, man.
I
Twerking for
see
this
it.
bitch, man.
I see it as they're picking what they see as the lesser of two evils. Would you rather have?
The lesser of two evils to black people?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be subjective. You know, you don't see it that way, or but a lot of people evidently do see it that way.
No,
Do
no,
you
I'm
want?
not trying to
But I
convince
Yeah,
mean,
nobody. I just want to get
yeah,
your thoughts on it,
yeah.
man.
Because
with
some
with
people,
that, you got to look at with that. Not to cut you off, but with that, you got to look at her track record, man. You know,
yeah,
Okay.
she's responsible for locking a lot of brothers up, man. You
yeah,
know, and granted, you know, if you did the crime, you should do the time. But
Hmm.
a lot of the punishments was too harsh, and
okay,
that was in
Let's be
part, and
honest.
that
We
was in
know how the
part
system work. We know how the system
right,
work for us. Let's be
exactly.
honest.
right,
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's kind of like what I'm speaking about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Word.
pretty
I feel
sure
you.
it was a lot of cases that she came across where she could have been a little bit lenient, and in
Hmm.
in and in a lot of cases she could have let brothers leave the courtroom. You know what I mean? But it was all about a conviction rate for her. To the best of
Right.
my knowledge. And then you got Joe Biden. He's responsible for the strict drug laws that gave brothers 20 and 25 years for one little bag of cocaine or one little bag of crack or something like that or
Yeah.
whatever.
The
I
94 crime bill.
yeah, the
Hmm.
94 crime bill. I mean,
Hmm.
if you was out there doing what you was doing or whatever, because I hate to be a hypocrite or whatever, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But if sometimes the punishment don't fit the crime.
Right.
It's way too
Right.
harsh. It's way too
Right.
harsh. And
and,
those are two people that we can thank for those things.
yeah,
So when it comes to them having uh our brothers and sisters, our brown brothers and sisters, and their best interest in mind, I don't think they do. I really don't think they do. No,
like I
it's
Okay.
said,
Okay.
it's
yeah,
all in the it's all an agenda, man. They trying to toe the line. These people had this plan 10, 20 years from now. They already know
Mm.
what
yeah,
type of person at this day and age, at this time, this year, right now, they already know what type of person they want to sit in that chair. They already know. So that's why they endorse the people that they endorse.
yeah. Most
Yeah.
definitely, man. Listen, they had this
Yeah.
thing planned
Real
out a
talk.
while back.
Yeah, I
Real
mean, a
talk.
lot of a lot of people, a lot of people give Trump a bad rep or whatever. But I'm I'm I want I'm going I want to go for the person that can do the damn job. I don't give
Pretty
a
Mm.
damn
much.
about what he do in his personal life. I don't give a damn how he
Mm-mm.
talk, how he walk, how he look, white, black, blue, Chinese, Japanese, whatever. If he a citizen and he can do the job, let him do the job.
That's what
And
I say.
if you ask me, I mean, Obama didn't do nothing for his people. I mean, if he did, he didn't do what
Well,
he was supposed to do.
I'm gonna give you a round of applause on that
You know
comment
what
right
I'm
there,
saying?
brother.
He didn't do what he was supposed to do.
I don't know what else. We can stop the show right there.
You know?
Lord have mercy, boy.
I mean, and I've heard people say, well, you black people should have had an agenda. They should have had their stuff together to present this man with a plan for this, a plan for that, and all this and all that. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Everybody know it's been going on too long. All the problems in the
Okay.
black community, everything that the
Okay.
black communities are lacking, everything that we need so our young people can come out of high school and come out of college and prosper. It's already known. They know what we need.
The
They
rest of the
know what we
communities
need.
got it.
They know the type of programs that can be implemented to help us, to give us a one up in this society.
They don't want to.
You know, they already know.
Yeah.
So why we gotta come begging? Why we gotta come begging?
Man, so
You know?
boy, I feel you, man.
The,
But
the Asian community, and I don't have nothing against no other nationalities. But
no, it ain't about hating nobody. It ain't about hating no other group. You know,
they passed laws. They passed what? Asian hate crimes and bills and all of this and all of that. Almost every other nationality, the people from India come over here. They get all kind of incentives, all kind of loans. They damn near push them into a business. You know what I'm saying? They get it all. But we gotta come begging. And we don't get nothing. So I mean, it is what it is. It's pretty much self-explanatory at this point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to admit, you know, that
That's
man,
how I feel about it. I don't even feel like she qualified, man. To
I don't
tell you
feel
the
like
truth.
either of them are qualified. That's why I refuse to even give any of them, to be honest with you, because I look at her and the things that she's done, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna shoot at everybody. I call a spade, no matter whose hand it's in. So for you to have the privilege that you're gonna act like it doesn't exist, and they're gonna tell us when we get out of jail that we can't get certain jobs because we have a record, but then you got somebody that you know what I'm saying, and you let this joker run for president.
Yeah, but
Please tell me how that works.
He's a white man that's
Privilege.
a billionaire.
Privilege. I don't care. Like I said, I call a spade, regardless who's hand there. That privilege, it don't fly with me because you ain't no better than me because I can slap you and you already orange.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? And just like if you slap me and you know what I'm saying, anybody
I
gets
get
slapped.
you. Yeah. I won't disagree. However, he's still a white man that's a billionaire in America. So
right.
Hey, fellas. Hey, a lot of us don't wanna really believe this, but it is actually a certain amount of families that actually own and run this country.
Oh
right?
Yeah. We've been
It's happening now.
And when you do your research, you will find that everybody that ever sat in that chair as president of the United States of America, they all family, dog. They all family.
Crazy how that
They all
happens,
family. It's been proven. They all family. It's all about what's the next group that's up in line to try to run this thing of ours. America ain't nothing but a big corporation. It's a big corporation.
Yeah.
That's why they came over here and took the land to start off with.
That's why you
for
got
commerce.
a social security number.
Yeah, for commerce. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay,
we all basically commodities, man. These people trade our future wages from our labor of having a job on the stock market every day. They get loans and trade that shit every day. Every day. That's what
Yeah.
that social security is about. Social security number is about. That's why they can tell you it's connected to an account with so much $1 million in it and all this and all that. That's true. We can never touch it, but it's there.
And see, the thing is, they. Oh wait, let me welcome to the show. We got Kwame, aka Circle K, and we got Uncle
Kwame.
HD. You know, the regulars up on
HD,
here.
what up, man?
What's going on? How y'all feeling?
Introduce
All right.
y'all
Good,
to the
good,
homie
good. What's good,
Cortez.
brothers? What's good,
What's
brothers?
going on, Cortez? That's good knowledge, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Man,
man.
what's up? I'm on this call because I don't want to get fined. But, yeah,
Appreciate
man,
you.
what's up? What's up, Tez? I mean, it's been a long
What's
time.
good? What's good? What's good, bro? Been a minute, right?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Last time I see you was at the talent show on Hampton Street.
Oh man, he took it way back. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was me and God bless the dead, Frankie and Anthony acting up on the stage doing jokes.
Yeah, man, for
I
sure.
remember that. I remember
Yes,
that
sir.
show.
Yeah, man, you took it back, boy. Hey, those were those days, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, them were the days, man. It was with the hangout spot at Burger King, boy. I know Mr. Cook was mad at us, boy.
Yes, sir.
All these beautiful people in this parking lot. They being stingy with the napkins, give you one napkin per burger.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Everybody riding around Jeffrey Boulevard. Yeah, nobody in the back seat. Got 20 people in the front seat. Man, come on, Walter. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, shoot. Oh man, catch a rise just to get to the game.
Oh
Shoot.
man. Yeah, that was us. We will walk from LA, but we always caught a ride back.
Exactly, man.
Always caught a ride back.
All the time.
All the time. We always caught a ride straight to that middle school, to the middle school dance. That's the game.
And these kids talking about struggle. Man, they got Lyft, Uber. Man,
these kids just lazy, man.
They
these
lazy,
kids are
man.
lazy.
They don't even walk to school anymore.
They
I
lazy.
don't think.
They're lazy.
Nah, ain't nobody walking to school no more.
Nope. They catching a Lyft. They catching a Lyft for Uber.
Yep, they ain't walking to school no more. Nah, man, they ain't even trying to go outside no more, boy.
Well, we've actually built a society of convenience. When you look at it, everything else is convenience. When you talk about grocery stores, you don't even go to the grocery store anymore. They have your groceries delivered to you.
You're right.
So,
You're right.
And everything that's happened. I mean, restaurants, food, people don't go out and experience life as we know it. To get to know one another is an issue.
No social skills. They have no social skills, bro.
No social skills. So you can look at that and you wonder why people are less susceptible to really being able to absorb what it is that it takes in order for a relationship to flourish. So when you think about, for instance, people that's used to going out to eat, going to restaurants or whatever the case, a lot of that has diminished because most of the people that were used to going out now, they have their food delivered from these restaurants that you go and sit in. It's just the whole ordeal of this particular area has really dwindled down to the point of people being lovers of themselves, as the good book calls it. So when you look at that, we are really much in that era. And they have that they feeling, or whether it's to the point where the people can agree. You look on social media, for instance, on TikTok. Nobody, if they get to the point where you don't have any agreements, they're less susceptible to even having you on. They'll block you in just a minute. And whether they feel that they're right and wrong, they feel like it's their platform to do whatever it is. But you know, the old adage goes, and what it says, a lot of times, just because it's lawful to do such doesn't mean it's expedient to do it. But a lot of people do things they know are not expedient. Just because they can do it. And
legal
it doesn't make
mean
it right.
Yeah,
legal doesn't mean right.
That's right.
And they do that all the time. And it just goes back to the whole ordeal I was telling you about with everything, not just women, but men just as well, or whatever the case. But you look at the old adage of what I was talking about earlier about what do women want?
Good
What do
luck.
women want?
Well, Taz,
On what?
Good luck
hey,
when you find
Man,
that
we
hey,
answer.
were
Taz,
just
me and
talking
Taz
When you
just
about
talked
find
that.
that
about
answer in
We just talked about that
2026,
earlier
let me
today,
know,
man.
man.
I like
We
that.
just talked about that earlier
Dude,
today, man.
DMX.
They don't
God
know what
damn.
they want.
And I'm
what
and
they
I'm I'm
really
gonna tell
want
you
from a
something.
nigga.
They don't know what they want.
Yeah,
The majority of
it's
them
an
don't know
enduring
what they want.
enigma, as they say. It's unpacking the old adage questions, and it's been talked about for so many centuries. What do
Good
women
luck.
want? Right? It's transversed across centuries. It sparked debates. You know, even down from Sigmund Freud to some Henry Henriksson. What do the simple folk do? You know, and it's just one of those things. When you think about it, you keep asking yourself the simplest questions, like you ask yourself, compared to a woman, if a woman was to sit up here and bring you food, what are the odds and chances of you being able to deny the good grace that was given it? You know, so versus having to get a woman something and they say that they're hungry, how many questions do you ask in order to understand what it is that they want? So,
Oh
and then they
God.
get to that point, they say, well, I don't want that. Because you can even give them some of the answers. Say, well, I don't want that either. I don't want this. Well, what do you want? But you know not to go ahead and get it because if you do, you fear that it's not going to be accepted. And I
Well,
think that among that is so much of a simple circumstance for men anyway. I believe in for the most part that men are more accepting in that aspect or whatever. And it's not the downgrade to say that there are women that don't, but I think the majority of them, when it comes to that, to those particular things and questions, you can narrow it down in a general sense and say that, you know, for the most part, you know, even if the men are not accepting, they know what it is that they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just say he doesn't want the cheeseburger. He already told you he wanted a fish fillet, but at least he told you what it was that he wanted. You know,
That's right.
but except as opposed to a woman, you can ask them 50 different questions. But like until they're ready to go ahead and accept that this is what it is that they want, you stuck waiting and trying to
No,
figure
you
out what it is that
just
they
go to
want.
the just go to the damn restaurant and they'll find something to eat if they're hungry.
But
Shit.
okay,
Hey,
let's switch it up. Now,
Mhm.
men are supposed to be the leaders. So if we say this is how it's going to be, then we're controlling.
Yep.
exactly the point. Because you do not want to do that because you're guilty for just that alone. Like just like you
No,
said, you're guilty
no,
of being
HD.
fine.
I think
So
men. No, HD. I disagree. I think men got to
no,
stand on that.
let me finish this point
You got
though.
to stand on that, dog.
I'm going to stand on it. Let me tell you why I say that. It's because when you have every intent to be able to do what it is that is necessary to allow for the woman to have what it is that they need by doing some of the things that you believe that it takes in order for it to be conducive for the relationship. It's about us. It ain't about the you or I. It's about the we, right?
Right.
So you do that, and all of a sudden, you always got to have your way. You always got to do this. You got all this. Now, that is my plea. Because if I had my way, if you think about it, if I had my way, I wouldn't be making an argument, right? So I would say if I'm controlling, that means I have my way. That means I've had the things that I want. But it's not the case because I'm making a plea. I'm making an argument to have the plea. To have what it is that I want. So if I'm always making an argument, how is it that I'm controlling?
Because I can tell you why. According to that logic, because they're not having their way, so there has to be some type of argument instead
For the
of
most part, it's all
instead of a conversation and communication. It turns into a disagreement, debate, or argument.
well, that's the whole purpose of that question because it was really just meant to just say, just put it out there because it
Yeah.
wasn't really meant to be even answered because you already know what it is because you don't have your way and that's why you make an argument.
Right.
I think it boils down to like the individual couple. You feel what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Will do.
And
Yeah.
the woman in that relationship, the man is quite naturally, we want to say the man is supposed to lead. Okay, but sometimes the man is not strong enough to lead in all aspects of the relationship. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? The
Right.
woman has her strong points just as the man has his strong points. And wherever I'm weak, I need my woman to compliment me and build me up so I'm strong in that area. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take you to have my back and keep me on point on the things that I might fall short in, and vice versa with the man having the woman's back with whatever she falls short in. You know, you feel what I'm saying? And that's in each individual relationship, because me and my shorty relationship is not going to be like, you know, Drew and his shorty relationship or whatever. It's going to be different. But you got to compliment one another. All that stuff about, okay, the man is just supposed to lead solely. I really don't subscribe to that. You know, we got to compliment each other. We got to put our heads together and compromise. And I got to recognize where you strong at, and you got to recognize where I'm strong at, and where we both weak at. We got to have each other's back to make it work. That's what makes sense to me.
The main problem.
I totally agree with that, because when I look at that, I look at the unison of a relationship. But even back in biblical times, when you think about it, it says the two twine become one. So if you think about the two twine, like you think about a twine rope, even if the twine rope is about the same girth of one single rope, it's stronger than the one single rope because it's twined. So if you ever think about that aspect, the two twine become one, but a lot of people can't walk together. And that's the whole purpose. And just like to your point, you have to be able to compromise to be able to get on that level and understand what purpose that you both serve in each other's lives. And if that can't happen, then you're basically divided. And two people under the same roof can't walk together. That was just the old age question. Can the two walk together unless they agree? You already knew the answer to that. That's why I asked the question. Yeah, I do believe in the two twine that become one if they could, but if you can't, then you got to identify and see it for what it was and see it for what it is. But a lot of times, people, that's my point earlier, people don't want to have the argument, the discussion, the fruitful discussion to be able to talk amongst each other to get to some form of compromise. If you're not willing to do that, it's already dead. It's already gone.
When talk about
you got to shed that ego, man.
Yeah,
some of us can't shed that ego, man. That's what it is. That's what I think it is.
It takes a lot of self-inflection and understanding and honesty within yourself, which goes right back to the topic, the mental over the material. That mental, you have to say in your mind, you had to come to grips with, okay, well, she's better with the finances, or I'm better with the finances, so I can't, just to keep her happy, I can't say, yo, well, you're going to be over this, that. No, because then when things get effed up, then you upset, and more than likely, she's going to be upset because you're upset, as opposed to being upset because of what she did wasn't the right thing. And now you have strife in your relationship. So, you know, you have to have, when you find someone, it has to be someone who, nobody's 100% healed and, you know, all this that they like to talk about. Nobody's reached that level. But you have to find someone who's aware enough within themselves to be able to admit to where they are weak, where they could need help and things like that. Because like Ted said, one person running everything, that's draining.
Yeah, but that's part of the problem, Drew. They ain't gonna admit it. They ain't gonna be accountable.
They ain't gonna do it.
Come on, they ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, it's a few of them. They aren't many. There's a few. They're showing many.
But we talk about the majority. We
talk about the majority. Yeah.
So I mean, I know in the previous episode we brought the same topic up. I mean, because how we was raised up, I mean, I believe all of us, you know, knocking 50 or a little, you know, almost there. You know, 50.
Man, I just turned 35. I don't know what y'all talking about.
29 and holding, baby. 29 and holding.
Man, listen.
Man, them brothers in denial, man. I'm 49 and fine. You understand what I'm saying? Proud to be there. You understand? Y'all come on back to reality.
Exactly. I'll be 53 Sunday. So
just like he said, knock in 50. Knock it.
He 49. He the youngest one out up here right now. Great
No,
God.
I'll be 36 next year myself.
But listen, you can relate, and you seeing your grandparents and your grandfather come home, give grandma the money. She go ahead and make sure what needs to be paid. She make sure the laundry done, make sure food on the table, X, Y, and Z. But these days now you can't do that because it's very rare you find a woman that's gonna do that. Now, I mean, because they all
Good luck.
they trying to
Good luck.
they're trying to see how you living or what kind of bag or what you bringing to the table, X, Y, and Z. So and the thing again, like Ted said, you got to work together. You got to complement one another. These days, even it got to equal 100%. If you got 60, she got 40, or you got 20, she got 80. To break it down, as long as it's 100%, and you get it together and get it going on. So that's what it is. But now it's rough out there, man. If you got one, that's fine.
Let's be honest, it is.
Then it's like you try to and some of us make mistakes. I know I made a mistake. I'm not ashamed of it. You always refer back to home, somebody, the hometown, they know you know them, the family, and what X, Y, and Z. You say, okay, we can rock together. We can
was back in the 80s, bro. That was the 80s.
Yeah. But no, you learn, you live and learn. So you live and learn. Because I always move by myself. I always move with silence. I mean, you don't know, I'll come up the surface of X, Y, and Z. But other than that, man, it's gonna take two. Especially these times, back then you could get a house for 35,000 or 25,000 a house.
But minimum wage was only $2.
Exactly. Exactly. Look at it now.
Man, with the way things going on now, I might as well just go ahead and be a fucking eunuch.
If one of your parents work at Ashton Hill, you was straight.
Yeah, man.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
That's one of the downfalls of this social media thing, man, because everybody put how they living up to the forefront. Go get a new car.
Ain't nobody poor no more. Ain't no more poor people no more.
They snapping
Ain't no
up
more poor
pictures,
people no more.
posting the new car. You take a trip to Jamaica. Everybody posting taking trips to Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that was when we didn't have social media. You don't know me and my shorty went to Jamaica unless we told you. And showed you pictures or whatever. But now it's out there for everybody to see. So now it's like we living in a time where everybody trying to keep up with the Joneses. It's a competition. Why we ain't living like that? Why we can't go to Jamaica or whatever? This man going to work. He going to work, bringing that check home. You doing what you got to do with it. But you seeing this couple over here. Damn, they just got a new car. They just went to Jamaica, this and this and that. Now you looking at what you got, what you ain't got, what you doing and what you can't do. I mean,
but Ted, I spoke with my friend about that last night because I said, behind closed door, you don't know how many nights at Top Roman, you crying and praying.
Exactly.
You don't know what they went through. And then the other thing too, you flashing all your business, going to these lavish trips and X, Y, and Z. Yeah, it's good. It's like show and tell. But still, you got them salty people just looking at what you got going on or whatever, and why you and you doing you going out of town every month or whatever. They're sitting back. When you come back, your house clean out. You know what I'm saying? Everything's gone.
Yeah,
that's the material over the mental. Just like we said, that's material over the mental. When it's supposed to be reversed.
You're right.
It's supposed to be mental over material.
You're right. We never did that. I don't care if I got a new car or whatever I did. I never flossed that on social media because I'm not cut from that cloth. I'm not of that era. And even if I think I was, I still wouldn't do that. I don't think that's in me. You know what I mean? Because
you can become a target like that.
Yeah, we
You
Exactly.
wasn't
can make
raised
yourself
like
a
that.
target. You
Exactly.
know.
Yeah, we wasn't raised like that. I mean, I just ain't the flossy type or whatever. But
Same.
Hmm.
I
That's the
mean,
same,
Y'all,
same
y'all remember that
situation.
story? Y'all remember that story about John, right? Remember I told that?
Which one?
The story about John. It's an old story from my grandfather. It talks about covenant, basically what we're talking about, and it's not just on a materialistic thing. It's also on a spiritual level, a mental level, whatever you want to look at it. And I think those are the moments that we refuse to recognize. So here's John out in the cotton field. Remember that? John's out there picking cotton, and he looked up. It started raining. He said, "Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. More rain, more rest." So the master said, "What you say there, nigga?" He said, "More rain, more grass." He said, "That's what I thought you said." And so
Damn.
afterwards, John sits up every day at about 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and he goes underneath this tree and he prays to God. He says, "Lord, I'm so tired. I don't know what to do. I want you to come and take me to heaven. Take me home, Lord." And so one of the people that was working alongside John, you know how they have them type of people that go and tell the boss man. So he said, I'm gonna fix John.
Hmm.
When does he go? About 12 o'clock? Okay, I'll fix John. So John, same day, every day he come around 12 noon, he pray to God underneath the tree. He says, "Lord, I'm so tired. I don't know what to do. I want you to take me home." And so a noose came down from the tree. And he said, "John, I want you to put your head in this noose." And he said, "Lord, is that you?" He said, "Yeah, I want you to go ahead and put your head in this noose. I'm going to go ahead and take you to heaven." He said, "Okay, Lord." I'm thinking, he ain't think nothing of it. So he put the noose around his neck. And the more he pulled on it, the tighter it got. He said, "Lord, you're choking me. Let me go, Lord." Then he broke out. And so John realized, he said, "I ain't know it kill you to go to heaven."
What?
So the moral of that story, and it kind of reflected in some sort of biblical sense, because my grandfather was known for having to tell me stories, and I didn't know that the seeds were embedded in me until I got older and realized what it meant. You remember the two brothers that wanted to sit on each side of Jesus? He said, "You don't know the cup that you even asking for." We have to know the specificity of the prayer that we make,
Yeah.
because you just may get what it is that you're asking for, but you may not be prepared for it. So it doesn't matter if it's materialistic. It doesn't matter if it's spiritual. It doesn't matter if it's mental. You can cover out to somebody else or whatever the case, and that's why it says not to do that. You got to think about what it is that you got, what you have the ability to do, and be thoughtful. Be very protective about the things that you ask for, because you just may get it and may not be
yep,
able to accept it.
Yeah, you have
yep,
to when you're striving for that success, and this is something that we definitely need to teach the youth. There are some steps that you just can't skip. Well, you shouldn't skip. There are lots of steps that you shouldn't skip because they're prerequisites. I'll take it back to education. When we learned long addition and long subtraction, that helped us with long multiplication and long division. If you didn't learn one, you couldn't do the other.
couldn't
Yeah.
do
You
the
know what I'm
other.
saying?
That's right.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
and that's how it is in life. Now we can help them avoid some pitfalls, which is what I think what we're supposed to do, help them avoid the pitfalls. But at the same time, don't teach them to skip the steps,
Right.
because
If they
that's what
listen.
teach
If
right.
they listen.
But eventually they're gonna hear it. Now they might not listen, but the fact if you hear it, that's good enough sometimes,
No,
because
life will teach them. Life will teach them.
exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Life will teach
So
them. Life will show them.
we want to skip the steps of having a good relationship without, and I'll say we, and that means men and women, sometimes without completing ourselves. Because you can't
Hmm.
come into a whole union when you halfway there. There are lots of things about ourselves that we have to fix before having a healthy relationship. And
Amen.
it starts in the mind. It goes
Yes.
on to the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And you can carry that on, because sometimes when you complete yourself, you can lead someone else to be a better person, and not by pounding this in them all the time and arguing with them and this, that, and the third. I said what I said. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna lead by example. If you follow me, you do. If you don't, bye bye.
There you go.
Good riddance.
I
No,
knew
you
it.
got it. You hit it on the head, Drew.
But hey,
No, you did it,
it still goes back to the order.
Yeah.
God, man,
Man,
woman,
woman,
child.
child.
There you go.
That's it.
And I'm gonna end it on that. I'm gonna end it on that because ain't nothing above that.
That's
If
the order.
If we ain't going by that, we probably can't rock, y'all.
You can't
know
skip
what
those
I'm saying?
steps. You can't rearrange
can't.
them. If you
You
rearrange,
can't.
that's like putting a roof on the foundation. You have to set things up the way that it's supposed to be set up.
Or trying to build without a foundation.
Right.
You know?
You're gonna shake all over the
that's-
place.
Yeah,
You
man,
know?
that shit ain't gonna last, man.
And in this era where everything comes easier, it's normal for humans to say, you know what? Well, this part maybe it isn't necessary. So far, they in their mind, in the mental, it's saying so far it's worked for me. But if it worked for you, you wouldn't be where you are right now. You know what I'm saying? You have men and women who'll say, oh well, I always did this when I was dating, but you're single now.
things done changed right here, man.
You know what I'm
done
saying?
changed.
Yeah.
If you can't adapt, then you just gonna get left out, man. You know
What
You
they
gotta
say,
But
adapt.
isn't that the whole purpose even behind a lot of times when people come up and it especially more now in this age than any other time, we have so many liberties at play, right? Everybody has their own ideology about the way in which they want to do something, but nobody has a foundation with it to which they gravitate or even sit or came from. They thought of it on the wall and they said, well, you know what? I put this together, I put that together, and here I have a big goddamn puzzle.
and the pieces don't fit.
The pieces don't fit.
That's what it is. So, you know, we got the problem. So we also came up with the solution. And being that I'm gonna go back to this era because it started when we were younger, when they started making things a whole lot easier. That's when they started with remotes. You know, we used to be the remote. Hey, turn to the channel 5. Charlie Hall about to come on. You know what I'm saying? Something
hold
like
your
that.
hand, hold your foot up. Hold your foot up. Put your hand right there. Hit on the TV a couple of times.
Go outside and turn the antenna. Turn the antenna outside.
So it goes to, people wanting things to be easier, but not understanding, once again, the steps that we take is what makes not only makes it worthwhile, but it helps you to understand once you reach the point that you get to that you want it. You understand so much more.
You value what it is that you've been through.
Lazy, man. Because I got a 15-year-old son and I got to get down on his ass. You see what I'm saying? And that's the only way they get it.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. That's
they had to get on yours.
About what? Shit, I wish he would.
No, I'm saying when you were 15.
No. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I was way different from him.
Oh, you couldn't even say shoot. You couldn't say dad. You couldn't say man.
We were totally different because he's, I was more outgoing and athletic. He's none of that. So he's in a totally different world, and I gotta adapt to his world. I'm like, yo, go play football. Dad, I want to beat on the computer, a video game. Go play basketball. Oh no, Dad, I'm making music. I'm making beats, and hey, I can't force.
Man, we were happy to go outside. Remember?
You know what I'm saying? Go play basketball, ride bicycles and shit.
We took 2x4s just to guide the go-karts. We took the slingshots from the wired hangers. We made hand slingshots. Then we made the rifle slingshots out of a 2x4 with a
that's why that generation ain't tough, man. That's not a tough generation.
Man, we had to go outside, man. Shit, my mom used to put Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. Nigga, get out my house and I'm locking my door and don't be beating on my damn door.
Especially after she done clean up. After she done clean up,
man, I used to be all over. I fuck around and got a bicycle. Man, I used to be all over Walterboro, boy.
Oh man, I couldn't go back in the house.
How
many of y'all did Willies?
Oh man, come on. We walked that bike as
Everybody.
far as we could.
I used to
You know what I'm
ride, oh
saying?
man, all the way around the block.
Yeah, man. From one side of LA to the other.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Man, how many people wanted a Huffy? A
Man,
Huffy.
around the block. I used to ride that bicycle all the way to right home.
Man, I
wanted
could
either
just I
a
could just
Huffy or a
dream about it.
Twins.
I used to dream about a Huffy, man. I got one of
Me,
them.
you and me
My
both.
bike, the first bike I got was a $99 10-speed, yellow 10-speed from damn Western Auto.
Western
Yes,
Auto.
sir. It
A
was a Western
mongoose,
Auto.
man. I saw a mongoose on TV.
Mongoose.
That was about Ricky Tikki Tavi was the closest thing I ever had to a mongoose. But boy, look at here. Yeah, man. And see, we
Things are
didn't.
different, man.
We had to earn. We had to do right. We had to do right. And this is once again in this participation trophy era. Just because you're there, you don't have to strive. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to strive. You just striving to be on the team, which a lot of times they let everybody on the team. You know what I'm saying? I get a
And
trophy just for
And
being
it
on
gotta
the team.
be in them, man. If it ain't in them, it can be on them, but it gotta be in them.
Yeah.
Not in them.
Yeah, sometimes with some things we gotta put it in them, man, because it's
Yeah.
like every generation makes the generation coming up after them. We actually bring them up to be a little bit weaker than we are because we want to see them have better things or have a better experience, or I wouldn't even say better. I would say a easier experience than we had. But by making things that much easier for them, we actually
Mhm.
weakening them. We
Right, you
weakening
kind of,
them.
you
We
kind of
taking away
enabling
It's
them.
not
from
by,
them.
it's not by,
You know what I'm
sometimes,
saying?
Bill Cortez, it's not about a fault of our own, though, because we're guarded either by the system or we're guarded either by the single parent and the mom that sits up here and says, this is what it is. It makes it harder for us to sit up here and put down our foot and say, well, hey, well, we need this or whatever. Before you know it, you and the lady is divided. And
Mhm.
because of that,
Yeah.
you and your household is divided. And if your
Yeah.
household's divided, they say the house can't stand, right? So
Right.
if
You're
you
right.
already got that, and how, I mean, and again, this goes back to a lot of the times when you think about the kids that are growing up in single family homes. You don't choose that life. You don't, unless there's, of course, there's going to be men that's out there and be like, they're just no good, but so are some of the women.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Mhm.
all, men, I'm not saying all women, but it's when you think about what's really needed, for the child. I remember back in the day when they sit up here, shotgun weddings was big. And some of them had a conscious mind about it. They're like, well, you know what? You ain't got to do it for the kid. No, that's the reason why you fucking should. You're already there now. You
Yeah,
slept
you
without a
gotta,
condom and
you
everything else. You
take
gotta
care of them, man.
do whatever it
Yeah,
takes to kind of make
you gotta make
that
sure
make
they
that
good.
child right.
You gotta make sure they good, bro.
That's one of the
And
reasons why I
hard.
always said, well, not always, but after a while, I after looking and dating and things like that, I said, if I'm with a woman and we're talking about kids or she already has kids, we have to be on one accord on how to raise the kids. That's one of the things now, because everybody has their deal breakers or things that they look for, whatever you want to call it, your criteria. But when it comes to the kids, that will definitely tear a relationship apart. If you have one that's a disciplinarian and one that's so easygoing, they just let them do what they want to do. They're cursing at 2 years old. They can't do anything else but
Right.
curse. That's the only words they know. They get to fifth
And
grade, they
you,
can curse you out but can't spell their name.
I'm gonna tell
and
you
you
something
at,
else,
and
Drew.
if you
I'm gonna
playing
tell you
that
one
step
thing.
dummy
You
role,
gonna
you
on this
can't
one.
touch them. Can't do nothing
Check
to
this
them.
out. Check this out. You can sit up here all everything that you want to do for your relationship, but check this out. You get to the point of having to have that talk that you think that maybe you should have about raising a child and everything else. You'd be lucky, first of all, to get that. But then when you delve deeper and you try to figure out what it is, and you're already you're going along that path, you hear some of the women that sit up here and they say they want a Boaz. They want a Boaz, but you ask that same sort of question back to them: are you a Ruth though?
Hell
Are
no.
you a Ruth? You want a Boaz, but you're not a
Hell
Ruth. So
no.
you expect a Boaz to sit up here and go with your ass and you're not even a Ruth.
Exactly.
It takes two.
telling
It
you,
takes
man.
two. You got to
They don't know
understand,
what
first
to
of all,
go
the
for that.
psychology behind why Ruth was even chosen. It says that he saw her from afar. Afar. That means he already observed. A lot of women, they don't even know they already been observed. We don't seen them already. Most of the good guys, y'all know who you are. You seen them on TikTok. You say to yourself, this girl's too wild for me. She look good. She got all of the things in the right place. But everybody got that nowadays. But they ain't got shit on the inside of their heart.
Right.
You know, Boaz observed Ruth in the field and noticed that she was still with her mother-in-law and didn't have to be. She already told him she can go on about her business. She said, no, I'll go wherever you go. And Boaz had to look and say, well, damn, who is this woman out in the field? That's the woman for me. She was still wifely. That meant something to him. And
She
so
was
a lot
still
of times,
loyal.
these women are not wifely.
She still had integrity about herself.
Yeah,
you know?
she was wifely. That's what it was. And a lot of men are. You got some men that are husbandmen. You know, it's a definition. It isn't, and that's what people fail to realize. It isn't when you just go across and you just go before a judge and then all of a sudden your husband. You have to already have been a husband before you even sign a certificate. You got to already have been a wife before you even sign a certificate. If it's not in you, then don't make this whole thing a mess here. Be who you are.
Exactly.
We'll get to that decision a whole lot quicker if you could just be who you are.
Yeah.
And it's easier for you to change into the person you want to be once you accept who you already are. Because
Exactly.
if you're go ahead.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother, but most people lack self-awareness, from what I observe. A lot of people don't want to take the introspective look and do the work. You see what I'm saying? So they don't want to, and to do the work, you're gonna have to break yourself down and build yourself back up. Not everybody can do that, man. But go ahead.
You're right.
You got to lose something to get something. You can only hold so much. I use a pie graph as an example. You know what I'm saying? If you have 30% here and 20% there, another 50% there, something in order for you to put something else in there, something has to go. And in order for you to make that 100% or get as close as you want, you have to get rid of those things that are of no value, no real value. You have to replace that with things of substance. And part of that's missing today, I'll tell you right now, in my opinion, the one thing that's missing in today, and I mean young and old, there is no separation. It's communication. It's the true art of communication, because all just talking, like we sitting here right now, one person talking, everybody else stopped and listened. That's part of communication. You don't have everybody at all times trying to talk. Nobody, if anybody that's listening, they don't know who's saying what. They don't know what's going on. We sound like a bunch of, cackling hens or whatever. But you have one person that's speaking, everybody else is listening, and they're listening to understand. They're listening so that if they're going to respond, they can respond onto what was said as opposed to how they feel.
Right. And respond in good faith.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, on that note, I'm cashing out because 1:15 gonna be here early. So
I feel you, dog. I'm not too far behind you, Kwamo. Countdown is on for your boy too, man. I got
I'm an hour behind.
3:45 wake up. So
All right, Kwame, will you take care, brother?
All right.
All right, Circle K, hold it down, man.
And all right, Kwamo.
HD, please don't put on that red suit.
Shut up and get on out of here.
With the red suit on.
Hey, you know you like it. Hey, you know you like it.
He's gonna get one just like it.
That shit tailor made, dog. What you talking about? Tailor shit.
And you're gonna get Pimp Pat on top of that.
It's annihilator gators.
Kwame look like a Pimp Hat type of guy. I wear that, but
Rollo, what you talking about, Kwamo? That's Rollo.
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 I'm trying to tell him. I'm trying to
That's
say.
Rollo.
Hey, I'm gonna call him Uncle Rollo. What up, Uncle Rollo?
Just let us know when you get that pimp hat with that suit, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna
There
take
you
this
go.
picture.
There you go. Yes, sir. Lean on him one time. Lean on him, Bill.
I'm
Yes,
trying
sir.
I'm the one with the jokes today.
Only thing I'm just trying to do is save him the trouble, show him the first when that lawsuit when Jake from State Farm come up because he went on that dang red.
Yeah, but you like it though, man. Don't be hating, appreciate.
There you go.
You say
You
black
gonna buy it, you gonna buy it anyway. You know you gonna buy it, man. Stop trying to front. You know you love it.
man, look, like you said, black on black crime too, red on red crime. You ain't red, bro. Come on, man. Hey, bro, y'all have a good night. Love y'all.
All right.
Next time, let's keep rocking this show here. You know what we do. All right,
Yes, sir.
we done came from, some of us came, me and Johnny, I can say me and Johnny came from Dirt Road to Pay Road. That's what we're talking about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know, Cuomo. Yes, sir.
All right, y'all be easy.
All right, man.
Easy, brother.
Peace.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. The problems and the solutions is not everybody's looking for it. Not everybody's going to understand it, but when we put the solutions out there for the problems, those that can work on it will at that time. Those that it's going to take some more time and some more BS to fertilize those seeds, it's going to happen. But the seeds had to be planted. They had to be sown, rather. So it takes things like this. Sometimes people might chime in. They might look in for a minute. Somebody else may say something. They'll say, "Yo, you need to check this out." They were bugging, yada yada yada. Somebody gonna catch something, and ding ding ding, and then we gonna catch things from each other. And that's what it's about. That's part of the growth. That's part of the building. We build with
Yeah.
each other, and the
And
stronger
I
we
think a lot of
become,
time that's
Mm-hmm.
the stronger we become. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
the stronger we become, the brighter our light shines. The brighter our light shines, the farther it illuminates. So,
Yes.
we just keep doing what we
No,
do.
man. We just got to stay consistent, man.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate you guys, helping build this thing, man, because it's going to take all of us, man. It's going to take
Yeah.
all of us. And,
And I'll keep trying to find some more risque guests, you know what I'm saying, to come on here.
man,
every
just
now
give
and
me a heads up, D. Fuck that. This nigga here.
You say he need a heads up, man.
What? Man, I went, man, but it was cool. It was cool though. It taught me a lot, man. Like, damn, you got to stay ready, dog. You can't be bullshit. You gotta stay ready. But that was
Ted,
cool.
that's the
though,
show
man.
I was telling you about.
Yeah, it was all good, man. Yeah, I gotta stay ready, bro.
I'll tell you, 2 weeks from today, that's when we're gonna do it again. We're gonna have some more people on. We're gonna talk about some things. We're gonna learn about how other people live. You know what I'm saying?
Other lifestyles.
Right.
And shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So if there are any questions that you may have, because it's always better to ask than to assume.
Yeah.
And
That's
to
for
be
sure.
knowledgeable. Be
Yeah.
Hey,
truly
Funky
knowledgeable
Drew.
from people that are doing it, as opposed to somebody on the sideline guessing. If you ain't ever in the game, what it's like to hit the winning shot.
You don't.
Right. Uncle Drew. I like the fact that when you ask the question about what sort of topics do you think we should discuss, I like that. I think you should continue that and ask
Okay.
that or whatever the case, so that our minds could be prepared and think about some of the things that we could, ask. I don't know if anybody told you that, but that was a really good, idea to do that. So,
Okay.
and when I saw
Man,
it, I was like, let me
bring
think
all
about that.
ideas to the table, man.
You talking about on
Yeah.
Facebook, or you talking about in our group chat?
Yeah, when you had that group check and you was asking the question,
Yeah.
about what do you think that we should go over in terms of a topic? What are some topics we need to discuss? I think that was a good idea.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
man.
I got
Hey,
some real estate people ready to come up too. So, you know,
Oh yeah.
mhm.
yeah, man, we gonna do this. We got a brother in Texas that we already talked to him a while back, and then I got some other people that I run into. If a lot of people are getting into real estate
Yeah,
because
such as me. Yeah, because you know me.
right, you Jamaican too, you and Kwame and Z, all y'all Jamaican, y'all got 42 jobs.
Hey, you gotta have them.
Hell yeah.
You know,
It's
But
all about seeing
hey,
people. You know what? The biggest thing is for me though, when you go and you have these things, you got to understand the reasons why you're doing it. And
Yeah.
if you
yeah,
think about it,
that's the
everything that I
purpose.
do,
Yeah,
yes,
the
I do it
purpose.
because I want to help people. Many
Right.
years ago, a lot of people that were elderly, they didn't have, anybody to come out to visit them. They didn't have kids in their town or whatever. And I was doing cable for them. I used to put salt on their things or whatever the case on the driveway come the winter time, or I would sit up here and just talk to them because there really wasn't anything wrong with their cable. They just wanted somebody to talk to. And I realized a gift that I had because they always wanted to call me. But then after a while, it was like, hey, you're getting a lot of these calls, you're getting a lot of these repeats, and that would hurt my metrics. So I found another way to kind of gravitate to them because I saw that they bill a lot of times the customer would have like internet. Elderly would have an internet and they didn't even have a computer. So I said, y'all gonna have to take this off. And that was back in the day when they used to charge like $40 for just phone. And remember when Magic Jack was out? Well, Magic Jack, I said up there
Yeah.
and I knew at that time it was $40 per year. I said, you know what? Let's go to this and go to this Magic Jack. Let's kind of say because they was hurting for their medicine. That's why I really think about that when especially these politicians they talk about order and talk about prescription. That was one of the main things because I need prescription and stuff like that. And so do probably a lot of like 80% of the country, when you think about it. So that really hit home for me. So I said, well, if she needs this, she probably need to adjust for a bill. So everything that I do, whether it's Superbox because you're saving on stuff like that, or it's real estate, and I feel that I'm going to have my niche in that, or the things that I do as far as this personal company here. So it's just, everything that I do starts with a why. And my why is just trying to save people money. And it really isn't about the money for me as it is just about maintaining, being able to support
Mhm.
myself, but also for the
Yeah.
biggest part is just helping others.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, gentlemen, I got to run. I appreciate you guys, man. Funky
Me
Uncle
too,
Tez.
brother. And
Glad
thank
you
you so
came
yeah,
up,
much.
brother.
man. Funky Uncle
Be a
G,
con-
Funky Uncle
hey,
Drew,
hey,
Funky
be a
HD.
continued guest, man.
Good
We
to
Yes,
meet
love
you,
sir.
having
brother.
you.
Cortez.
We appreciate your input and knowledge, brother. We definitely do, man. We glad you joined us, man.
Oh
And
yeah.
Man, that was good. That was
Anytime,
yeah,
on
man.
time, bro.
Anytime.
for
Hey
sure,
man,
for
we
Come
on
on
there
sure,
back
man.
Wednesday
to us.
nights, man. If you wanted
Wednesday
to
nights,
come,
bro. Yeah,
hey, you don't even need an
Wednesday
invite. You
nights.
just come on through, bro. I'm
Yeah, just
telling
come
you.
on through. Funky
Just
Uncle
come
That's
on
Tez,
what's
through.
up.
man. Yeah,
That's
yes,
what's
sir.
up.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Representing the Funky Uncle Bucket. I like
You
that,
see
man.
what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah,
saying? Yeah,
man.
he got
Oh
that
yeah.
joker rocking it too,
Yeah.
boy.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. That's a good
Yeah,
look,
I
bro.
got
Good look.
home, man. I actually got home a little bit later than I thought I would, but I got home and you should have seen me in the closet. Where my bucket at, man? Let me
Yes,
find the
sir.
bucket. I gotta
Yeah,
represent
yeah.
for
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sure.
man.
sir.
But
Loving it, man. Loving
yeah,
it.
man.
No
But
doubt.
you brothers be safe, man. And hey, man. Until the next time.
Until the next
Peace.
time.
No
Yes,
Peace.
doubt.
sir.
Y'all
Mm-hmm.
brothers be safe, man. Peace.
All right, peace. And so concludes another episode of The Funky Uncles. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves. Like, subscribe, share. We want to thank Cortez, Kwame, HD, um, Rob Jordan, Gianni, all the brothers that came together, made this show what it was for the night. Next week, we have something else for you, and you never know who will be on. So join us next week. And as always, I have Funky Uncle salute to you. Much love, and we out.